seconds back and then forward again.
As they said, what they call it, see how the sausage is made.
Who?
Yeah.
Hey, you ever heard that phrase? See how the sausage is made?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not heard that before.
Yeah, it's basically like, see how things work. See behind the scenes stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How the sausage is made.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where we're going with that. All right.
That's an oldie but a goodie.
That's got to be. I not heard that. Either maybe I
Thank
know.
Thank you, Rhonda, for trying to make me seem like I'm just making stuff up.
But is it derived from that movie Soylent Green, or is that just a coincidence?
I have no idea. Why are you backwards? What are you doing?
Now you got the man back with the mask on.
The man in the mirror.
The man with the mask. Whitney, how you doing down there, babe?
Okay, let me just stop.
I'm okay.
You okay? Can barely hear you. You must be having a party behind you.
You can't hear me?
Oh, now I can. How you feeling? She's gone.
I'm okay.
Okay.
I took some medicine a little bit ago, and I guess it's the drowsy dosage. So I'm
Okay.
hold on.
No, I can hear you. Wait, let me turn off the sound on a couple of my things because now I heard an echo.
Oh, me?
No, not you.
I'm okay.
He is in the blue fog. He is totally in the blue fog.
Those early 90s special effects.
Truly, she was doing it. Oh, look at this. Oh, now okay. This is Try Your Background Day. Go ahead. That's what this is. It's Try Your Background Day. That's a nice one. Now you disappeared. Okay. That's a nice one though.
I guess it would work better if I actually had a green screen.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't have a green screen, not behind me.
Oh, because I'm wondering why is it that it's stopping? I guess I'm sorry, I'm just still trying to figure this out because I'm frustrated.
Just bring yourself back on the screen, babe. Just bring yourself back on the screen. B's having fun, dipping in and out of. Go get some food. That's why you acting that way. Get the Pringles and the chocolate. See, this is what April Fool's Day does to people. This is what happens. This is what happens. Y'all get, start experimenting with your screens. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Zooming in Comfort. I'm your host, Jermaine. Happy April Fool's Day. I hope no one was the fool today or wasn't given a fool thing or wasn't fooled by anybody. I was early this morning.
No.
It sucked.
Apparently, I tricked my damn self trying to do this.
Oh, gosh. We have our usual suspects. We have Carl and Whitney and V who went to get some chips because she's hungry. And we have Rhonda who has come. And as I usually tell you guys, everybody is from all over the place. Rhonda is in the Netherlands. So at least she's on this side of the water. But, it's nighttime for us and like early afternoon for everybody else. So I hope everyone else is doing good, especially you guys in the US. I don't know how the weather is there. All I know is some places are chilly, some places not so chilly. So I don't know how it is. Huh?
You go ahead, Whitney. What were you saying?
No, Whitney, you were saying something?
Yeah, I was saying that I know some places had like some tornadoes and stuff. I haven't had any tornadoes, but it was just some strong thunder a little bit ago, but it seems to be calm.
Oh, okay. Thunder. We haven't had thunder. We had weird snowstorms and really a lot of wind. There's been a lot of wind, and which is, I think, unusual for here, as far as I remember, for here at least. At this time of year, usually I'm used to the wind in the November, October months when it's just like NEM, but now it's like that now. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Gotta walk backwards because snow and everything is like sand. I'm like, nah, I gotta walk backwards. I can't be rolling like this. This stuff hurts.
Yeah, we had a lot of wind today. Last night at work, whatever happened, the power got knocked out for like a hot second.
Wow. See, that's that I can't. Power being knocked out. We had that a couple of times here. I think maybe once or twice. Actually had a few times last year at night. Fortunately, it happened at night. A couple of times did happen during the day, but a lot of times it happened mostly at night. And it was like you heard it. You just heard this huge explosion. And it's like, what the? And you look out the window and like dark. And then about 20 minutes later, because there's a right out my window in the field, there's a house. And in that house is where all the electricity, I guess. And so all of a sudden you see trucks pull up to the truck, the whole little house, and try to go in there, try to fix everything. How you doing, Whit? You still alive? You still there?
Oh, me? Yes, I'm
Yes.
still here.
Okay, good. Hello, Miss Ashley. How you doing?
I'm all right.
You all right?
Mm-hmm.
You had a good day today so far?
A busy day. Had some
Yeah.
things I had to do an hour
Mm.
out. So, yeah.
Did you have hey, down? Did anyone get any April Fools put on them today, aside from Carl trying to figure out what he gonna do?
No.
Nope, not me. I'm in the house.
That was your safety net?
Yep.
I was in the house and I still got messed with.
Oh, dang.
I did. A friend of mine who I hope he watches. He sends me this a message, and then he sends me another message and I'm looking at my phone and I'm like, and it just said it's a boy and it's a sonogram. And I was like, you ain't supposed to be having no children. I mean, not that you can't, but I'm like, yours? No. I mean, And so I just blatantly asked him a question like, so is there a pregnancy happening? And then he goes, April Fools. I was like, that's wrong. That's a lot of wrong there. That situation did not call for you telling me that you was having a child. But that's all right.
Go from April Fools to you're just lying to me.
Pretty much. That is pretty much what it was. From April Fools, you just wanted to lie to me. You just wanted to mess with my head and give me some, some grief and some stress for the moments of time that you chose to give it to me. And I don't appreciate it, but that's all right. Do you know? Now I was looking up all this stuff about April Fools, and they have. I could not go through the things that people do to fool people with April Fools because it's dangerous. They did some dangerous stuff here, and I'm like, nope, not. I mean, short from the pulling out the chair things that people normally do, to the scares that you see on like TikTok and all the other stuff. I was like, y'all are crazy. But I found some jokes. These should all be like dad jokes because I was like, cringe. 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 And I'm gonna read some to you. Let me see. I was gonna tell you an April Fool's Day joke about an old plane, but I just don't think it'll fly today.
Oh dear.
Oh, okay. Here's another one.
Bad joke.
Told you. Babies born on March 31st are so easy to prank on April Fool's Day. I mean, they were literally born yesterday.
Oh dear. But
But I was like, oh, yeah. Which animal loves April Fool's Day the most?
A cheetah.
That's good. See, I would have liked that, but no.
A
A
gopher
silly
because
goose.
they'll go for anything.
Huh?
I don't know. It's like a gopher because they'll go for anything.
See, and
Look
that would have been
at
good too. That's
That was
good.
actually good.
That's a
Yeah.
good one. But no, a silly goose.
Oh god.
See,
Okay.
that
How is
go,
it?
huh?
I like mine better.
The silly goose?
Right. Yeah, we'll go with Rhonda's.
We're gonna go with
Yeah.
Rhonda's. Oh, here's one. How do you start a tough conversation on April 1st? If I may be prankly,
Oh my gosh.
I was like,
I don't get it.
We gotta send all of these to Kev.
No, he has enough. This is when you stop. This is when you stop being friends with people. It's like if you keep telling me these, I'm gonna stop talking to you.
Yeah, stop, unfriend, block, all of that.
all right, I'm gonna stop now.
You can't say that you love
Not
me
you.
talking like this.
Huh?
I said you can't say
Not
that you
you.
love me talking like this.
It's a, it was a, but though, see, I thought those were such cringe. I was like, oh my
Oh yeah,
God, those are
big
gross.
cringe.
They are cringe. They are total cringe. All right, the big things that are happening. I heard that there's some court cases going on in the U.S. Some
told me
stuff going on
to look this up.
that's just been hot news. Mm-hmm. Gwyneth Paltrow won. That's right.
What did she win? What did she
Oh,
win?
gosh.
She had some court case with some dude. She was skiing, I think, and they must have crashed, and he was suing her.
I thought
Yeah.
I'm like ski. I was about to be like, oh no,
No.
my bad.
He was suing her
Man.
for like, I don't know, a couple of million, and she was countersuing for $1. I was like, okay.
Because
She
it would be
won.
crazy for her to sue him for anything if he's not also like a celebrity or something.
Yeah, and she didn't. She just $1. She said $1. I was like, aren't you kind? $1. That was it. But I was like so surprised. And of course the big rich one about with Mr. DTT. But I
Your pants on fire.
I hope
Liar,
his
liar,
pants are on. I hope his pants are on fire. We'll
Yeah,
see.
it's one of many cases.
I think there's 30. He has like 30 of them.
There's 34
Yeah.
associated with the one case out of New York that he's been indicted for now, because when they break it down to the different charges, because of the 34 different ways that he split out these payments and all this other stuff. That's 34. That's not counting the case in Georgia, the other case in New York that has to do with the tax evasion, Jack Smith's case. There's also a potential case out of California somewhere. I don't know. I lost count. I just wish somebody would tell him to STFU. Like, God, would he just shut up with all his stupid.
Can't.
Just shut him up.
he was asking what he's being charged with for what he just got indicted with this week. The charge was what basically campaign fraud or whatever.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Misappropriation of funds and false business documentation and all that. But I just watched earlier today. It's like 34 counts. That's what it is.
Oh, because over here they've reported it as he had a thing with this sex worker, but I don't understand what he did, what the charge is with that.
Okay, they keep bringing up the sex worker part. That's not important. It's not that he had an affair with the sex worker, which is also low-key kind of shaming or trying to shame. The issue is not that he had an affair. The issue is that he used money that's supposed to go to his campaign to pay for hush money.
Oh, I see. That's what that was the connection I didn't get, because the way they reported it over here, it was just like, oh, he had sex with this woman. I'm like, okay, so he's been arrested for I don't know.
The funny thing is his lawyer at the time has already gone to jail for this, for what they charged Trump for.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's like, so if he doesn't go to jail, and so basically it's like his lawyer went to jail for something that Trump told him to do. So logically, Trump should also go to jail
For the same thing.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
You know, logically speaking.
Yep.
Logically.
Logically,
But the world is not logical.
no.
Do you know what MAGA stands for, right? The whole Make America Great Again.
Do you know I just figured that out like about 4 or 5 months ago.
Ma'am.
But do you know there's another meaning for MAGA.
What is it?
You want to hear what the other meaning for MAGA is?
Go ahead.
Please.
Making attorneys get attorneys. That's all it is.
God.
I mean,
Oh, how sad.
I didn't come up with that. That's somebody on YouTube that I watched that came up with that, because everybody who's been affiliated with him is in trouble now. They're getting sanctioned, they're getting censored. I mean, I think Giuliani's going to lose his license too, isn't he? Or has he not already?
That man needed to lose his life. He should have been in a home long time. Especially when the dye melted off his head. I was like, bruh.
I was just thinking about that. I just
And when he
watched
farted,
when he started.
he was in I don't know what, I saw a clip. He was in some kind of a hearing, something important, and he farted.
Sorry.
While the dye was dripping down.
He's just a disgusting. No, when he wiped his nose and then folded and wiped it again and then wiped his forehead with it.
Yes.
Ew. So
Now,
you mean
that has to do with his license. It's just, you know, nasty in general, especially with COVID. It's like, basically, it's just, you need to go wash your hands.
Somebody needs to take his human card away from him. So so are you telling me that he let it rip while he was letting it drip? Is that what we're saying?
No, so okay, I just Googled to find out what it was, because all I needed to Google was Rudy fart and it came up. Anyway, it was a hearing, Michigan, I can't say Michigan voter fraud hearing. So he was in this hearing, and I don't know if he was talking or somebody else was talking, but basically he farted quite loudly. Everyone heard it. And he was, sweating, and the dye was coming down, and I just remember the clip. I don't know what it was about, but I just remember the clip because
no one remembers what it was about because you were too busy looking at the nasty.
Yeah.
I don't remember nothing except this and then the drip. And I'm like, bruh, that was not good shoe polish.
What about the fly on Pence's forehead or in his hair?
That was so weird.
It got stuck in the glue. But no, the thing about we'll get back to Pence in a second. The thing that makes me so mad about the drip off Giuliani is like, the little bit of hair that you have left, and you're worried about it making it look black.
Yes.
It's holding on by like, and you're just like, I gotta make it look black. It's like, it's.
Let the man live. Everyone has their insecurities.
It's true. It's true.
If that's what he
Let him
needs to
have
do to make himself feel good,
Let him have it.
there are worse things he could be doing. I mean, there are
This
worse
is
things
true.
he is doing. But aside
Yeah,
from
he's
that,
doing them already. So
Right, he's doing them.
now I have to skip off of him. I have something that we all need to discuss because it's somewhat of an intervention and a discussion of all things that I read on the HTT thread a few days ago about someone in this particular space not knowing nothing about Sister Act 2.
First of all, that is
Carl. I didn't even point you out. I just said the statement and people just nodding and shaking their heads.
First of all, of the people on this panel, only 2 of us actually go into HTT thread.
I was there.
She got there. That's the point.
And Mo, when she remembers it, it's over there. So it couldn't be anybody else. And y'all been spit roasting Tony for this. Because I remember it was on the thing when Kev tried to be like, oh, you haven't seen it? Or
this is very true.
And then he tried to say that what did he say? He said Sister Act 2 is more important to the culture than Harlem Nights, which I personally disagree with.
Carl.
What?
You deflecting, baby. We should be talking about you.
But we don't need to talk about me. First of all, your facts are wrong. I didn't say that I didn't know anything about the movie. I said I can't remember the last time I've seen the movie all the way through.
How much of it do you remember seeing?
Just little parts of them singing, like them going back to get Whoopi Goldberg's character at the beginning of the movie. It was like a long time ago. Like it didn't really. It's one of those things to where I remember seeing some of it because it's one of those movies that came on all the time, like on TNT or whatever.
So you have no excuse to not have seen it more than once
in its entirety, ever.
I just didn't care to see it or to watch it again.
That's worse.
How's that worse?
Okay.
You had the chance to see it and you didn't watch it. It's a great movie. One of the best movies.
Okay, first of all, I did not say it was a bad movie. I said I didn't care. It was like, okay, it was cool.
That's
like,
what you're saying, though. You said it was a bad movie because you didn't care.
Say what?
You saying you didn't care means it's a bad movie.
No, those are 2 different things. I could objectively say that something's not for me without saying that the quality is bad. You said that you didn't like Terminator.
He's saying it's a bad movie. I want to put that out to you.
Right. You get it, Melodic. You get it.
I don't know what she said, but I'm taking this disrespect. Now, you said that you didn't like the first Terminator movie. That doesn't mean that it's a bad movie. It just means that movie isn't for you.
Did you?
Right?
Oh, wait. Okay, so this is the question. Did you watch the whole Terminator movie?
I did.
I'd like to say.
Oh, okay. See, she saw the whole movie.
Exactly.
And made her judgment.
He did.
You didn't even see the whole movie, and it repeatedly has come on. Now, let me say this: Terminator.
No. Come on,
has come on several times as well. But Sister Act 2 did come on enough that even if you saw pieces, you should be able to formulate the whole movie, and you can't do that, can you, man?
No, because the parts I remember seeing, I'm just like, okay, and it's one of those things. I guess I didn't really care for Sister Act 1.
Tomato.
I hope you choke on that.
Oh my God.
Go ahead and laugh. Go ahead and spit it out.
Tomato.
I don't care. I'll take those tomatoes, cut it up, and use it in the pasta.
So you and
Tony
Baker. You see, at least Tony knew facts about the movie, like, but that's his thing.
I I've seen their last, the joyful song they sing at the end. I forgot Sarah Lee Ralph is in there.
What'd you say her name was?
And I remember that the white boy.
I think he said Sarah Lee Brett.
That's what it sounded like, Sarah Lee.
I only have spinach in my fridge. Oh.
Oh.
Definitely giving Sarah Lee Brett.
Will throwing spinach have the same effect? I don't know.
No, it doesn't. There'd be more confusion. It'd be like, why does she have spinach? Like she could have just said.
You got to sit in the front row. You're going to have the spinach.
Quick pivot. How angry do you have to be at somebody to bring food or something to throw at them? Just like when that person threw that shoe at Bush.
This is true. That's
it's like
thought.
You got to be mad to be like, mother. Hold on.
I had a chiclet.
But no,
I would throw like coconuts or something. At least that would, hurt.
Damn. I was like apple. She was a coconut. I'm going for the one-shot wonder.
That is a criminal act right there. If you hit somebody in the head with a coconut, that could be it. About as angry I am at Carl now. First of all, you can be saying all this. Are you on mute?
Huh?
Monique.
You have no sound.
You're the only one
not muted.
You're not muted. Why we have no sound? We want to hear your beautiful voice, Mo. It died.
The bigger her hair grows, the more she loses her voice. It's a curse.
Wow.
Prove him wrong, Mo.
Okay.
She's just mad because you did not see Sister Act 2.
Are you okay, Mo? Can you blink two times? Okay.
Blink.
Okay, you're good. All right. Blur the background. Are you at home? Okay, just make sure.
You just can't speak out. Is that the issue? Because there's company around and you just can't say what you want to say. I don't know.
I don't know. Lie.
Girl. See there? That's all right. That's okay. That's okay.
That's okay. As long as you're here.
Yes, as long as you're here.
Yeah, technology.
It's the sound. Lies.
Okay, so now we're going through movies, and you didn't see, since you didn't see Sister Act 2, but at least Wit saw Terminator. Did you see Terminator 2?
No.
No.
She hadn't seen 1.
No. Terminator, is it 2?
Yes.
That was the good one?
1 and 2 were the good ones.
Which one was the good one?
1 and 2.
Well, 1 was like good because it was the first one because it told the story, but 2 was hot.
Yeah.
They
ruined the twist in the trailer though.
They did? How?
Showing, hold up, was that for this one or for that one? The twist of Arnold Schwarzenegger being the good guy.
They did? Okay, I don't remember. Only thing I really remember that was really gross is when that guy licked what's her name's face. That was nasty. That was nasty.
Any of the Terminators?
I've ever deal with the whole thought process of how some people can think that that's sexy. Like, yo, bread gets stale on my face. Really?
And she was tied up. She was like not in a good way. She was like locked down because she, just had too many guns or whatever. But they had her like tied up, locked down because she was cray. And Homeboy came up in there and licked her face. I was like, that scene was unnecessary.
That scene sounds very unsanitary.
Well, she cleaned the floor. Put it this way. She cleaned the floor up with him afterward.
Right. I was gonna say like this, like that was one of the orderlies, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That was like, I was like, no, that's just nasty. Someone licking your face, especially a stranger. He is like spinach. Oh my
And
God.
not that it matters because it's, sexual assault or whatever, but also think about, like, if you're that nasty, your breath probably stinks too. It's like you got your hot breath, you just think, ugh.
Probably. So tell me, okay, this is one thing I don't know. This maybe some of you do know. And since I've been getting all my clues from everybody else, because I don't watch enough TV or enough movies, tell me one of the better series that you have seen that you think other people should watch, and a movie that you've watched, you think this is a good one. I need to tell people about this one. Especially the series. What series have you guys been watching or you've been keeping up with that's like really good?
Whitney, you gonna tell me
I
about
haven't watched it.
Love Is Blind?
Huh?
Somebody else go.
You go ahead, Carl. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, you're gonna tell me about was it Love is Blind or Married at First Sight? Your series that you've been watching.
Oh yeah, y'all been watching it. I miss it because I fall asleep when y'all get ready to watch it. I'll be like,
no,
yeah,
I
I'm
thought
gonna
you
watch
meant like an actual show, not like some
Yeah, but I think an
drama
actual
reality.
show. Yeah, I meant an actual series, not a that.
With as much drama as the producers create, that's more like a scripted show than anything. But the series that I don't know. I watch a lot of YouTube. The series that I have watched that I enjoy, Jack Ryan on Amazon Prime. The latest season has recently come out. I need to finish that one. That's like a spy type show.
Mm-hmm.
There's one on Netflix I need to watch called Night Agent. Kath said that was good.
Mm-hmm.
What else is there? Jack Ryan, Reacher. That's more of an action type show.
I saw Reacher.
I liked Reacher. I'm excited.
I liked him too. I mean, and the show. But
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Have y'all watched Kaleidoscope?
Yes.
Mm-mm.
It's starring Giancarlo Esposito. That was
you know how the episodes are like a color, and nobody gets the same order of episodes.
Oh, that's what I heard about that. I forgot who was talking about that. There's like white, green, blue, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And each, like, if Monique is watching it and you get the order of white, blue, yellow, red, she might get red, blue, yellow, white.
The only one that's the same is white, I think, is the very last one, but all the other ones can start in any order. And I don't know what determines why you get the order that you get. I don't know if it's like based on, I don't know what that's based on, but there was a lot of talk about it online. People thought it was pretty cool how you can, because, they go back and forth in the different time periods of how this whole thing unfolded, but they all end up, I think the last episode is white, no matter what your order that you got. It's kind of cool. It's got like it's interesting.
Yeah, I enjoyed it until there were some couple episodes in the middle that brought it down for me. But I still enjoyed it overall. I didn't realize that Robert Townsend had directed a couple of episodes, so I was happy to hear that. Happy that he's still working and doing things. What's another one? Another show. I need to catch up on so many shows. I really can't think of anything else.
Y'all have seen many more than I have.
Have y'all seen 1899?
What'd
That's
that be about?
made by the people who made that German show called Dark. Have you seen that one? That was a trip. It's it gets convoluted. The plot is just like it's
Wait a minute, so it's a show about people who made a movie or whatever?
No, the show is called Dark. It's a German series. There's 3 seasons. it starts off with these missing kids in like 2009 or like some year, but like every 33 years, there's some kids that go missing from this town in Germany. And,
Like
and it's got some time travel, and it's got some time travel with it, and some science fiction with it, and it's just really good. You just got to check it out. I can't even properly describe it. You just got to look it up and get into it.
Mhm.
But it's one of those ones. By the third season, I was just like, I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm just watching for the entertainment. But anyway, the same people who made that show made another show that came out 2022 called 1899. And I can't even, all I can say is you just have to watch that one. I can't even give that one away because it's a trip to watch it. Let's just tell you, I watched this show with somebody who has a very short attention span. Jermaine, you know who I'm talking about. And this guy was like addicted to this show. He was like, can we watch another episode? Can we watch another episode? Like he'd be over here at my house. And I'm like, dude, I got to go to bed. You need to go home. Like we done watched 5 episodes in a row. Like we've been watching this show for 5 hours. I need to go to sleep. It's that good. It's one of those like pull you in. It's got different plots and then like characters are in different time periods and all this kind of stuff. If you like stuff like that.
Anybody else?
I've been binge watching old stuff. So like I'm watching Parenthood, not the Black Parenthood, the White Parenthood, but both of them are still good. A nice nostalgic break.
There's a Black Parenthood?
Hmm?
There's a Black Parenthood?
Yeah, the one with
Yeah.
Robert Townsend from like the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I like that one.
Yeah. But I'm talking about the white one though. Like both of them. I'm talking about the white.
Okay, I gotta check that one out. Okay.
Might check out that one day.
I haven't seen any of those in a while.
Monique, let me see if I can impersonate your voice. I didn't know there was a white.
I know. In my head, I'm saying her voice too. Is there
Right.
a white one? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think the white one came out like the early 2000s or something like that.
Okay. I don't remember any of this, and I was here by that time, so I might not even. I probably would not have catch that one because I was here, and there was not that many American shows, and that surely would not have been here. So
Of course not. They're black.
there was a black show. I remember it.
it.
It was a black show. He was a chef. Actually, he's now my friend Robert. But he had a show here. They bought it, I guess, or whatever from Canada called License to Grill. And I was like, oh, a black chef. I watched that show every darn Sunday. I was like, black people. Yeah, because that was it. That's all I had. That's all I had. But now I'm happy because we're actual friends now. So that was the cool thing that I actually got. We now have a good friendship, literally. So but that was all I had. Huh?
I said you just befriend all the people. Got famous chefs. That one guy who's did that traveling show. You be friends with the ambassador over there. You just
Can't forget the ambassador.
Right. Got connections everywhere. Like if I need to reach out and touch you, I know how to.
Right.
But it was fun in Lithuania. I like the bed. That's all I talk about is that bed. He's probably very upset with me, but I mean, it was great company. I had a really good time, but that bed, I wanted to take it home. That was like, I just need to take this with me. It was nice. It was, and it was a cool break. It was a cool break, and learning all that stuff about Lithuania was really cool.
Hold up, what was that show you're watching on HBO? 6 Feet Under.
Yep, 6 Feet Under.
Isn't that old?
Yeah,
It is old, but yeah, somebody who's let me borrow their HBO Max told me that, yeah, they canceled it. I have 30 days to watch, but they wanted me to watch 6 Feet Under because it was like kind of like The Good Place, because we both watched The Good Place, and
Oh,
she told me
okay.
that I should start watching it. So I like it. I've already finished one season. There's like 4 left.
Mm-hmm. I started watching The Good Place, and I think I only got to season 2 or 3, maybe. But I haven't got, so excuse me, but I haven't gone any further with them yet. And I keep saying, yeah, I'm gonna watch them. And I haven't done it yet. Now I'm
See,
just,
that's what I did.
yeah.
Whenever I finally got to watch the last few episodes of The Good Place, which was I think season 4, and then I told her about it, and then I literally cried. I was not expecting to be crying watching the show.
To the series?
Yes, The Good Place.
Okay.
So prepare yourself, because I was
right.
not prepared.
Oh man. Okay. See, that reminds me of that freaking movie. We have a ghost on Netflix. Man,
We have a ghost.
we have a ghost on Netflix.
Yeah.
That took me. That wasn't fair. That wasn't. Yes. That was not fair. Not fair at all.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a little freaky, scary comedy with what's his name that plays the bird thing in the Marvel movies, but the young guys, the young men who were the actors and mostly the main character, they were very good. But I was taken aback by the last 20 minutes of that film, and I was not happy.
No, it's called Ghost.
We have a ghost.
What did y'all think of that new movie with Eddie Murphy?
You People?
Oh
yeah.
I still haven't watched that because
I'm not sure I want to watch it.
Yeah, because of reviews I've heard of with people that I've heard talk about it,
mm-hmm.
and things that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, from the trailer, some of the concerns I had seemed like they were echoed in what I refuse, but I dare not say it in public. Were echoed by some of the people who watch it with like I said it for you. Of like some of the cringe jokes or whatever. And I don't always do well with uncomfortable conversations in movies or TV shows, mostly because I hate anytime there's like a conversation or if there's anything like a racial topic and somebody will say something and instead of saying something natural, they just sit there and just let like the uncomfortableness, whatever, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was so like cheaply done, I thought,
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the trailer and I thought it was going to be funny, but man, it was just like a lot of it felt kind of forced. Like,
yeah.
I felt like, okay, they're trying to make these points, but in making these points just so like artificially and like in your face, it was insulting a bit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
it seems like he does better. Like I like Blackish, I like Grownish. It seems like he's one of those type of creators that does better when there's other people to bounce off of or add to whatever it is that he has to say or his viewpoint. Because if it's just him by himself, it's just too much of that. And it's because apparently I kind of heard some of that same thing in his Black AF show, to where it's all about like racial issues, whatever, but it's so surface level
Yeah.
And
I like
Black-
I liked Black AF.
I didn't finish it. It's like, okay, it's like, you know,
It started becoming about their marriage, but to be honest, it started to feel like it was a more candid Blackish. Like it wasn't giving you the the American dream kind of situation. It was more like giving you rich Black people who this, and we still got problems. Like that was kind of what it was giving me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
okay.
I want y'all to know I tuned out for a minute. I forgot that y'all were still talking about that movie and it's Kenya Barris, so I'm not interested.
Yeah.
You had a senior moment and just tuned out.
But you listen, hey, you know.
But
No, I did. I saw you people. It was. There were moments when it's like,
Yeah,
you know,
they had
I
a lot of
mean,
cringe moments.
individually, if I just talk about individuals, Julie Louis-Dreyfus, perfect. Perfect. The character she had, perfect. Because that is the kind of behavior that you would see. It was just on the money. The rest of it was like, even her husband, what's his name? The guy from E.T. or E or whatever, that V or whatever.
X-Files.
Yeah, see, X-Files. He it was a letter. He was even, you know, now I can sing John Lennon. We're just ordinary. I was like, Jiminy Christmas. Yes, this was the perfect couple for this particular section of film here. But I mean, I understand it's supposed to be a movie, and of course, every movie isn't to the point of being, you know, even if the people don't seem believable. But you wanted to think that, yeah, that they could be a couple outside of this, and it's like, nah,
Yeah, that is
outside of this.
when there's something to where it's like you're already suspending your disbelief for a movie or a TV show, but then there's always that one thing that's just like, okay, I can buy everything else, but this is just like a step too far. Like even mostly it's like that when shows or a movie end up breaking a rule that they set up.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that annoys me. It's just like I was riding with you at least, you know, for what it was, but then you let me know that you didn't even care about the rules that you set up, or you just forgot about it, or just didn't expect somebody to notice. And so it's like, But a show that I think, and I just thought about this, Abbott Elementary. That's a good show.
Oh yeah, that is a good show.
That is a good one.
Yeah,
that is good.
Won
That
like all the awards. It's like it's like the Black TV version of Everything All at Once.
Well,
Yeah.
It's like that.
Okay.
They won all the awards for movies. Abbott Elementary won. I would say all the cast, you know, different people in the cast won for like best script or, you know, comedic show, best supporting actor, actress, all that stuff. So I'm happy for them. It's a great show. It's real funny. It's funny and sad at the same time because it's like, this is hilarious, but it's also
some truth in it.
right.
Our kids are
Not
struggling.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Who are you telling? I was recognizing. I was like, ooh, yeah, that's a memory.
Right.
And teachers just not, and the janitor, especially the janitor, for some reason, you know, he, you know, little bulk up social butterfly. Because our janitor, I remember in our school was just, you knew him more than you knew half the teachers, because he was just all over the place, knowing all the tea, everything. And I'm like, yes, yeah. Abbott Elementary is the move. I know, like, I think I didn't watch the Oscars. I heard about it because it comes on too late here, like 1 o'clock in the morning. But I know the whole upset with what is that movie? Everything, something, blah 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 blah, blah all at once. And Jamie Lee Curtis won the one instead of Angela. No, instead of Angela Bassett.
They were saying they were wondering if I forgot what critic or what spectator said this, but they were wondering if they were concerned that it was going to be a little bit like too Asian if they gave it to every cast member across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Because they said that the girl, I think the girl that was like the protagonist throughout the whole thing, like being very versatile, they were like, why didn't she get one? And then I think one of the critics said maybe they was just worried if they kind of gave it like diversity across the board, nobody was gonna,
And it's like, we're not talking about diversity, talking about, I mean, and as far as I knew, even though I haven't seen the movie, I knew from like even clips that Jamie Lee Curtis did not have a huge role.
No, she did not.
At all.
She had in that whatever time period it was, that's where she was, I guess, or maybe in a couple other spots. It was Michelle Yeoh, and the other chick that played her daughter.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the two had, especially the daughter, because it was like
I love the husband. The husband was awesome.
And the husband. I mean, I'm like, well, you gave it to Jamie because what? She been out of the rope. She feel bad for her from the Halloween movies. What? I don't understand.
Yeah, I couldn't make sense of it.
I didn't even like, and in my heart, I'm like, I didn't even see the movie, but I know she didn't have a large role. And why did these other women and other people? You gave it even to Mr. Little Indiana Jones guy. Okay, I see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that pattern.
Hey, I do too. I like that little pattern.
That is a nice pattern.
I see. I'll stop asking why.
if that is what they were thinking, because you never know. It is,
and it's sad.
Number one, it goes to further show how none of this is based off of who was actually gave the best performance. If you can go, well, we should give it to this person, but because of whatever, we're going to give it to somebody else, or like how
balance out the color wheel,
right? Or like how they would give somebody an award because they should have given them something the year before or time up now, and
10 years before.
Yeah, and it's very political. It has nothing to do with who's the best.
But you want to know something?
What's up?
I feel like just being a devil's advocate, even because Jamie does have some very good dynamic about herself with her characters and the things that she's done. But would we be willing to admit that there's a good possibility that there wasn't a lot of creative things that came from the more non-melanated community? And so all of the diverse stuff that came out, like Wakanda, Abbott Elementary, everything, blah, 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 all at once. All of those things came out in this time. I can't tell you off the top of my head which one that was more non-melanated or diverse that came out in this time period to win something. So it was almost, if that is true, then could it be like, we didn't produce anything really this year. We didn't do anything this year. Might need to at least give it to somebody that was not melanated because we didn't give enough to the bucket to pull from. At least maybe that's just me.
Well,
that's sad. That's sad, but that would be even more upsetting. I mean, it's like, okay, y'all didn't make no movies, but these people did, and this was their body of work. Judge from the body of work. Well, no, like you say, all these, melanated folk are, people,
and of different shades,
Yes, all our shades, all our brown and tan shades are getting all these awards, and we have to balance it out. We have to have some power. I mean, if that's what they were going for. That's sad. That shows how okay, there's a lot of words I can use. All of them are bad and curse words, so I just won't say them.
Okay.
Well, that would be sad.
Okay, one thing, for one, there's a lot of movies that don't get any shine or get, there's a lot of movies that come out that we don't normally hear about because they're not big enough to actually get any, they're not big enough to get any promotion. There's some big budget movies that a lot of people don't know about until they already came out because the promotion was bad. Shazam 2 that's doing poorly because, and even the people involved, they're like the marketing for it was bad. There's a lot of movies that come out to where it's like, as I said, nobody knows they came out until afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So there could be a lot of there could be some movies that were produced by melanated people that we just didn't see. And as we said, like, this is all political. Most people, nobody on this, nobody who's actually judging on whatever has seen every movie.
Right.
And the only people who are nominated are the movie studios who have enough money to lobby, say we want this person to do it. That's why people got mad at that one chick who said, "Why do I need them to do it? I'll just do it myself." But also, it is the thing of like, okay, so maybe there wasn't a big enough pool to pull from. You know that this one Black actress did do an excellent job, and she was in a bigger portion of the movie and had a greater impact on the movie than Jamie Lee Curtis' part is. And I also think that it's not just that the fact that Angela Bassett didn't win, because even if they gave it to, as I said, the daughter, who Kevin Angel played, like her reading for it, and she was excellent just from that part that we saw from her auditioning.
Yeah.
If you gave it to her, people may still be mad, but it's still like, okay, well, she at least did her thing in the movie. She at least,
she carried it.
Supporting actress.
Mm-hmm.
But and it's also funny if it's a thing of like, oh, so now you guys care about diversity when you're the one who is seeming to be the minority. When it was us asking for things, you want to throw people a bone or whatever. But now that it's like, well, you could have easily given it to, if the movie was that good, then fine, let it sweep whatever. But for Jamie Lee Curtis, and it's not a thing, and it doesn't want to make. I haven't seen the movie, so I can't comment on it. But it's not a thing of Jamie Lee Curtis being bad. It's a thing of like when you put up to the movie,
She was just there.
Yeah, because V's just talking about what am I writing? When she talking about even with Angela having her part played, was it really Oscar worthy, or or having the question or was it, but the performance in question in the movie. I mean, I think they won for the movie won, I think, overall for best costumes.
Yeah, they never give superhero movies awards for anything,
right?
Technical stuff,
right? Because of whatever, but be it as it may, her performance was good. I didn't even think that it was like an Oscar, really, especially, and it wasn't just for Angela, but it was comparing it to the work that the other two women did too. That whole body across the board. I was like, maybe, the chick, the Asian, one of them.
But I would say even with, just like with Jamie Lee, I would say the same thing for Angela Bassett. Like, put all the other people aside and just look at their body of work. Out of all of their bodies of work, do you think that this one was it? Because I personally feel like what Jamie Lee has done in the past, and for this to be the one to get the, I'm like, yo,
no, not at all. Not at all.
Same thing with Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett has done some fire.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't. Yeah.
That's exactly the point I'm making in my questions in the chat, because I'm like, if I was Angela Bassett, I'm not Angela, but if I was Angela Bassett, I wouldn't want to win an Oscar for being in Wakanda forever.
Because of the body of work.
But she's done other things that she could have
done. Tina Turner.
That wouldn't be the
Tina
thing.
Turner alone should have been just across
that wouldn't be
board.
the thing that I would want to win what is supposedly a prestigious award for.
Exactly.
And that's why I said, is it really an Oscar-worthy performance? Like, everyone's getting upset because, she's Black and we want Black people to win. Of course. But is that the thing we want her to win for? Really?
No, I didn't even think of it even that way. Though I understand what you're saying, and I probably in the back of my head thought of it that way. you know, all I thought of it is across the board of performances of those particular movies. And I did not have Jamie in the forefront, and just
Oh,
seeing
well,
the
I can't judge the Jamie thing because I haven't seen her performance. I haven't seen that movie. But I don't know. I wouldn't want to win an Oscar for a superhero movie.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Given the body of work that she has behind her.
No, I understand that with her, especially with her, given the body of work she had done. I understand that.
I would say Jamie Lee.
Can y'all
go ahead.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, we can hear you.
Yeah. How
did you do it?
Figured it out.
Yay! I was just going to say, or she could have been the first to break down the wall for
comics,
superhero movies to get the recognition they deserve. You know, like, because some of them will be good, not all of them now.
But then I feel like there are better superhero movies. I liked Wakanda Forever, don't get me wrong, but I didn't think it was like, oh my God, like.
No.
Oh no, not the whole movie. But I was saying, she could have been the one that opened the door for them to now, like, oh, we can actually give people who do well in superhero movies an Oscar. Like, we can now take them as serious roles. She could have. I'm not saying she deserved it. I just don't think we should be giving people that do the bare minimum the Oscar.
Well, I will say this. For Wakanda not to get it, but, and this is of no offense to Jamie Lee, but Jamie Lee won with hot dog fingers on her hands in this movie, okay?
Like, oh
if
my
y'all
God,
ain't seen
yeah.
that freaking movie, this like a good chunks of this movie now, she got a bowl cut and hot dogs for fingers, phalanges now. And for that to win over Wakanda,
right?
I'll definitely be like, come on now.
But aren't they supposed to be like? Aren't they supposed to be like a different vibe? Because the Everything Everywhere movie is like, it's meant to be all philosophical and thinking about so it's not really the same kind of movie, even though I've seen the images of Jamie Lee with the sausage fingers and all of that, but isn't that meant to be symbolic of something? Like, it's meant to be high art or whatever. So I don't even think that's a fair comparison with. I personally, I don't. But then I can't say because I haven't seen the movie. So
from what I've heard people talk about the movie, it seems like the only difference between those two movies, and I'll bring up another superhero movie that also talked about multiverse. Something between like that and like the Doctor Strange 2. The only difference between the two of those is that one is based off a comic book character. And I think there is a prejudice or bias against those type of movies, because there have been animated movies that have been better than live action movies. But because they're animated, they're like, well, we don't want to put them up against live action. That's not fair. It's just like, but those are still actors acting. They're still giving a performance. And if they give a worthy performance that is better than this, then they deserve it. And they're saying no. So we're going to put them over here and say, okay, well, that's the best animated feature. And there had, like I said, and they even do that with, there have been plenty, animated TV shows or, as I said, movies that have been better. And as far as the thing of like, is it worthy? I think that just because you're doing, Angela Bassett is somebody who I feel like there are some actors who don't feel like, well, this is a superhero movie, so I'm just going to phone my performance in. So they're going to give the same caliber of performance that they would normally give something else, no matter what they're doing. So if they're always this excellent in everything they're doing, and it's just that finally they did a superhero movie, and that studio says, okay, you did this, we think you did excellent, we had excellent feedback from audience, so we're going to nominate you for this. And so I think if it's all up to that. If it was a great performance, then it's a great performance, no matter what the genre of the movie is in. At the same time, I do also understand what you're saying. It's like, well, I wouldn't want it for a superhero movie. It's like, well, if you weren't good in the movie, then I wouldn't want it either. But I think she did give a wonderful performance. She wasn't the only one, but she was the only one nominated. So that's it.
Can I ask a question?
Yes. Why am I saying yes?
It's just because I don't know, because I don't really watch superhero movies, like the only ones I've seen, and this is so old, but I liked the Dark Knight Batman movie, which is really super old. And I liked Iron Man, and I liked anyway, I just haven't seen a lot of them. Okay. But here's my question. Is it not possible for like a superhero action movie to just not have like a really good plot? Like is it just totally like your superhero movie, so just we just don't like you? Is that fair? I mean, because what if there's a movie, and if there is one that you can tell me would fall in this category, which is a great acting, really good, rich, great plot, complex storyline that just happens to be a Marvel or a superhero movie? Like
Logan is one of those movies.
Which one?
Logan.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very emotional. It was really, a good story. It was not so much. It's like supposed to be the final, Wolverine story. And
that one, yeah, that was actually emotional.
Yeah, it was really emotional, and it's it was a good movie. Just like even if it wasn't based off a comic character, it's still a good movie. I feel like that with the Black Panther series. It's like, take away the superhero elements of it. The stories and the elements that they're talking about are good topics and good things, and I think are well executed. And as I said, I think there is a bias, against to the ever-growing list. But yeah, I think there is.
I just wanted to ask, because I know people who just abjectly there's immediately not interested in action, because I think they have this bias, like you said, like maybe they assume, it's going to be, action and a lot of effects and unrealistic and blah, blah, blah. And maybe they made that for kids or something, and they don't even give it a chance. That's why I wanted to ask, like, I guess it's just like a Hollywood bias against that genre then. And that's unfair, I guess. It's just
unless ultimately they just, they all of a sudden pop up in an award show.
Yeah, they will win awards for anything
otherwise,
else.
Or maybe it's because their whole judging structure is outdated. I mean, let's look at some of the stuff with some of these companies out here that's still operating and been operating for 125 years, that still want people to work in the office and da-da-da-da. And I'm just saying, like, thinking of the workforce in real life, I feel like we should take into consideration the workforce in the arts as well. It could be a little bit on the outdated side. So when it comes down to the awards that are given, they're based off of outdated principles and like realistic, like ideals. Like animation should definitely have a little bit more now. The comic and all of, they should have somewhat more of a place in our industry now for the arts. Because these people really do. How many Marvel people have had to go and transform their entire bodies for a movie? And you mean to tell me that these people that show that type of dedication, they can't get but you don't get one, because I mean, y'all got too
like
much
Avatar.
Boom, boom, pow, pow. Yeah. But I'm talking about like just straight Marvel in general. Like a lot of those actors go in one body figure, even physical aspects, and come out looking like Greek gods and goddesses because of how they have to get themselves prepared for those type of movies.
Yeah.
So that takes a lot of work. And I think that but that would be my 2 cents about just there could be some outdatedness there.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, because there's a lot of that going on. You know, you get the old guard in there, and I guess I don't know, when I was listening to you speak, I'm thinking, I wonder if we follow the money, if we would get the answer to that question. Like, who funds these movies? You know, like, yeah, like where do they get the money from? And do they want to, like, do they have a say in it? Like, it has got to be the money trail, the politics, the old guard, the hierarchy.
When it comes to the award part, you mean?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, most definitely. There's just like with all the other politics, there's a bunch of old men.
They do the same thing with the sitcom.
Yeah.
They did the same thing with the sitcoms. You saw the little clip where the people like from Saved by the Bell, 90210, and all of them, they're talking about how they were told, you know, middle America, they don't want to see this, they don't want to see that. I mean, of course, the politics is all in that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They always talk about middle America.
And middle America is not middle America. We know what middle America is.
Right. They mean, you know, middle class white women. The funniest thing about when they talk about middle.
Not you mumbling past that.
What? I missed something. What happened?
Nothing.
And then they give them enough credit because middle America and them people be watching stuff. They lied. I don't want to see it. I can't be. They be toned in. Toned in.
Right.
They be more in than we be in.
Numbers don't lie.
Doesn't that beg another question too, though? It's like, maybe these targeted groups of viewers that they think they know about think that that's what they want to watch because they've been influenced to think that that's what they want. And how would they know any different if they're never given an opportunity to really see anything different or new? So of course they're going to order the same old cheeseburger when really maybe they would have wanted, you know, something else. But how do they don't know what they don't know, right?
We don't know.
Something else.
You know, us menial folk don't know no better. We have to be told what to watch, told when to watch it.
That's what that's what middle America is. It's just like
the frustrating thing about will middle America care? The dumbest thing about that is that they're saying it about shows that are based in places that's not middle America. No major TV show is based in middle America. It's either LA, San Diego, or New York. It's either one of those. If it is, or
somewhere in Georgia.
Right. Either really down south. It's like, so none of the shows take place in, anywhere that's like middle America. And the ones that, and when you think about it, some of the best shows or the highest rated shows, like, what is it? Breaking Bad. That was based in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's about, middle class dudes selling drugs and doing all this, killing people. But that was okay.
Yeah,
they were like, yeah, we know that. We recognize that.
Right.
And then Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul came after that. That was also pretty good. But let me ask, but did those shows originate out of mainstream network television, or didn't they come out of like cable television?
Cable television. And I think
that makes a difference too.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point, especially with streaming. Like, you have something like The Boys, which is not supposedly middle America friendly. They do a lot of stuff on that show, but it's like you have a lot of shows that are streaming now to where they don't have to worry about censors. They don't have to worry about, focus groups or whatever. I know some still are probably, tested, whatever, but they can get away with a lot more. They have far less restrictions. And so people, and I don't know too many people who are actually watching, regular shows anyway. There's so many shows that are out. There's there's so much, like Mo was saying earlier, there's so much to watch. There are so many good shows out. Some on like, you know, networks like Stars or Showtime or whatever. She brought up The Last of Us, which is on HBO. And these new streaming networks, Paramount Plus, Peacock. You have that Bel Air show that's on Peacock that people like. It has a season 2. Hell, Sylvester Stallone has a TV show on, I want to say, Paramount Plus. You know, so it's so much, you know.
Even Apple TV's got some good shows on there.
At this point,
that Will Smith movie was on there.
I think at this point we're just bombarded with 1,001 TV shows that we can't even keep up. Period.
So does this mean that the acting market is saturated? Because all these shows, I'm just trying to see if there's a chick that I need to be picking up on.
I think you should, because I don't think it's saturated. I think maybe they got a lot of shows, but they need a lot of people on these shows. Because the population, I mean, all these shows, they got to get them people from somewhere.
Right, and
that's a lot of
fun. Also, it should also give hope, because if there's all these shows, then that means there's all these avenues to, you know, get in when you fit in, to like jump in and be a part of something or start your own whatever.
I want to hold a boom.
Hold the boom. Like, it's gonna be like, ooh, I started working, and then you start working in the industry, and you like, if I could just get to one of these mainstreams, though, that's what a big chick is.
Yes,
get to one of these movies.
Hello.
You know what?
Netflix was not while it lasted, but I'm trying to get to CBS. Like, you know.
But that's the funny thing, because there used to be a time, and it's not too long ago, to where it used to be a downgrade if you went from movies to TV.
Yeah.
And like if you were a TV actor, then it's just like you couldn't, you know, you wouldn't dare think about doing a TV show. But now there's a lot of actors, like, you know, like I said, Sylvester Stallone has a freaking TV show.
Hey, a check is a check
from Jeremy Renner. He has a TV show, Mayor of Kingstown, whatever. There's Kevin Bacon. There's all these big name movie actors who are making TV shows, well produced TV shows, whatever. And you know,
you just reminded me, like Jennifer Aniston is a huge actress, right? That's a big name. And Apple TV had a show on called The Morning News that came out years ago, and both her and is it Reese Witherspoon that's in that show as well, I think. And like
was Steve Carell in that?
Yeah, him too. Because they had a lot of big actors in that series. And now I'm thinking, like, there's even like there was another one. Is it a movie about Aqua? There's a series about people. Jason Momoa is in it, and it has something to do with water, and it's also
Aquaman.
But is that the movie, or is that like I thought there was a series.
Are you talking about the Sight?
Blind. They're blind or something like that.
Yeah, Sight or something. Yeah. It's like, yeah.
And there's a great movie on there that I really love, and it has Samuel L. Jackson and
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, about the banker.
Yeah.
You need to write all these movies down in the chat, because I never heard these.
Well, no, wait. That movie, I'm so mad because that movie had a limited showing in theaters, and it was only on Apple TV, and I'm just like, I don't want to get Apple TV. It's like, so I'm just, because normally after a while they will also release it. They will also release it to buy on digital, but that one got messed up because the person who wrote the screenplay got in trouble, and in some trouble. There was some controversy, and so that kind of got pushed to the side. Was this you had to say?
I want to know. Don't go for that fast. Wait, rewind, play. They got into some trouble. There was some controversy. More.
Yes.
Okay,
The person who wrote the movie. Okay, the person I'm trying to figure out how to say this. The person who wrote the screenplay or whatever, the movie is based on his father. And I want to say the sisters got mad at him for writing it or whatever. There was some dispute with them about that. And I don't know if it was just about the book or some other stuff, but he said, okay, just take my name off of it. And so you guys can do whatever. And it kind of just died after that. It's like you didn't, it's one of those things where there was some controversy. The movie was brought up by that, but then even after that, there was no follow-up to what happened with whatever issue, which is irritating. It's like, so it was only interesting to bring this movie up about it, but now the movie kind of may have suffered for it, and now there's no follow-up to what happened between the two parties involved.
Carl, you're responsible for finding out what the title of this movie is and writing it in the chat. Meanwhile,
it was the banker.
Huh?
The banker.
Oh, the banker you're talking about. Oh, okay.
Isn't that what you were talking about?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about some other movie. I don't know what you were talking. Melodic, you want to say something?
We went through.
Huh?
Say what now?
You were going to say something before. You had your hand
up.
I
was just going to say, speaking of the whole situation about the industry and all that stuff, like, we also need to, because we talk about the quality, you know, Netflix and all of that, they, you know, and then the TV shows was kind of like, compared to movies. But I have to say one thing. I remember when, y'all remember The Game? It was on CW.
Yeah.
Great show. Everybody wanted it back when CW was like, they pulled it and put it on BET. And it was like, whoa, don't make it a comeback. But it was not good. No bueno. But then Paramount picks it up. Well, first off, real quick, CW had it as a live studio audience thing, where when it went to BET, it was nothing but drama, closed studio audience, no reaction, and it started just becoming very blah. But it got picked up by Paramount, still closed captioning, but for some reason, it's like the quality and everything drastically improved on Paramount.
Money.
I agree, but it just kind of threw me because I was just like, now this should also be an indicator of, regardless of the apps, I'm just talking about like the apps, the quality of these apps, because some people will be like, well, I don't want to act only on the streaming apps because, you know, where I'd rather do movies because that's where more money. But to see how the quality of that show shaped and shifted based off of which company or whatever picked it up, it should say something about probably what those checks look like too. That's all I'm saying.
This is true.
That Best Man TV show that came out, was it early this year, late last year? That looked like a movie.
Might as well have been a movie.
Right. The Marvel TV shows have been coming out. Falcon and the Winter Soldier look just like a freaking movie.
But I feel very upset about that because the fact that BET is not a movie, like it's not a streaming. BET Plus is, but still BET is not. And even with what they produce now, like the streaming quality stuff that they put out, it's a little good. I'll give it that. But it's still not like a Paramount. It's still not even like Netflix. It's a lot clean, like Netflix, Paramount, they're very clean. Like I'm just noticing little stuff. And to know that when BET picked up The Game, how set back it was. It almost felt like the quality like diminished a little bit when it was picked up from CW to BET. But then get picked up from Paramount and it was almost like it got a new makeover all over again. And I was binging it myself while watching it on somebody else. I got it.
Do you think that's a funding thing?
Oh yeah, that's money.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That's
but
totally.
I also think it's funny because CW is not known for, I'll say, high quality. So to say that BET couldn't keep up with quality is saying something. But I will also say you also have to look at. I won't say also have to look at it's a thing of they brought
producers.
It back. Producers, whoever didn't feel like it was worthy putting money into it.
Yeah.
Because they're owned by Viacom.
Yep.
they own, was it VH1 and a lot of stuff. But when you think about the shows that they produce, it's a bunch of reality TV shows.
Yeah.
They don't do a lot of scripted television. So for them, they could be like, well, we don't normally put money into this. So it's either they don't know how much money should actually go into something for it to look good for that quality still be, or they don't care.
I bet you it's the they don't care part because I bet you it has, if we did I'm just guessing, like if you calculated the return on the investment from a scripted show versus a reality show, I'm wondering if they have their formula down, right? You know, they're very heavy with reality shows. That's their formula. That's their business model. That's what they excel at. So it could be like they don't want to invest in that other piece because they've got this model that's already working, and maybe it gives them a higher return on their investment. And, you know, the thing about reality TV shows is that they just keep going and going and going forever. And they almost have this like evergreen kind of quality to them because people pick up and watch the old, I mean, like they got the Real Housewives on Netflix now. I'm like, what is up with that?
Really?
We're going all the way back to like season 1. It's like, okay.
And Netflix had the game on there too, the old throwback. So I mean, everybody got a piece of the pie.
Yeah, so if you think about if they can syndicate those shows for decades, the return on the investment is got to be exponential compared to putting money into these scripted shows for a company that's not known for doing script. That's just a guess. I don't know what y'all think about that.
I will say to your point with the reality shows, we saw recently with the purge that happened on HBO Max. They were bought by Discovery, Universal, whatever, something Discovery, but they normally do, I'm gonna say like HTV, whatever. They do a lot of reality shows. So to what you were saying, they canceled a lot of scripted shows that were HBO originals, and even went so far as to cancel a lot of the animated shows, and not just cancel them, but remove them from the platform altogether to where you can't even watch them.
Oh, wow.
So you can't even watch the reruns?
Right. So they don't even want to pay whatever residuals or royalties from you watching that thing. It's like, okay, so and make it to where for some of this stuff you have to pretty much pirate it if you can find it somewhere, because they, you know, it's easier. And once again, it goes back to this outdated understanding of how people, of what people watch what, because for them they say, well, men watch, and this was something they actually said, men watch TV like this, women watch TV like this. They said that reality shows are lean in TV, and whatever like other stuff that's not reality TV is something that you sit back on. And I'm just like, you do know that men lean forward too, right? And that women do like some of the other stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe sports is like lean back. Sports might be lean back and just watch, but when the game get good,
you lean up, yeah.
And also, and once again, it's that thing of men like this, women like this. You know, it's the stupid binary, that caveman.
Yeah, trying to put us all in a box again.
They have these research firms that they pay millions of dollars to figure out the psychology of their audience and all this. Because I will tell you, I have a client that's a big, huge pizza restaurant chain in the US. And The last project I was working on, this woman told me, she's like, oh yeah, well, we have all the data, like everything is really down to a science, like where we put our stores, like what's like, how many people, like what is the income of, obviously, you know, that's a no-brainer. You want to know what the average income demographics of the area, but down to what side of the street are you going to put your store on because of traffic patterns based on the time of day and the day of the week. Meaning they want to be on this side of the street where people are coming home from, like if their corporate jobs are like downtown and they're in the burbs, they want to be on the side of the street where they're coming home after certain hours of the day. They wouldn't want to be on the other side of the street because when they're coming home and the traffic's going this way, they're less likely to make a left-hand turn into, you know, their establishment. I mean, they got studies and studies and studies on all this stuff. And what you said, leaning back and leaning forward, I hadn't heard of that, but I would imagine some research firm, you know, I don't, where do they get this data from? You know, it's just kind of interesting.
Nah, but
it's also that data, they could very well have gotten this data and it'd be accurate, but it only matters depending on who they ask.
Right.
Like who are you actually asking these questions?
Right.
If you want to, you can get a poll that confirms whatever bias or whatever thing that you already believe in if you know the right people to ask.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Confirmation bias.
Yeah. That men like women and women like men, and they watch TV together a lot of times. Like, so what do you know what I mean? Like, men do it this way. Well, a lot of times they are together and watching their shows. And Carl will be watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, and his wife will be watching anime with him. And that's just how that goes, you know? That's dumb.
You know,
watch the Housewives. No, you watch Married at First Sight with us. So
yeah, I didn't say anything.
But you said
what you yelled at me for.
But I mean, it's
actually, I do like watching Queer Eye.
Queer Eye for the Straight Guy.
It's on Netflix. I like the black dude.
The new one or the?
Oh.
No, it's a new one.
Yeah.
The new one. I used to like the old one.
I remember them.
I like the new one. Some of those stories be having it's like
pulling at your little tear strings there.
It's real good. I swear.
Got a haircut. You look so good. All you needed was a shower and a shave. Look at you, all pretty.
Those people be having some trauma. Be like, yeah, flood came and killed everybody, and so I'm just trying to hold on to this dirty dog or whatever. It's like, God dang, it's like they come in and just fix their little life up, and then be afterwards when they leave, they just be hoping that they hang on to the stuff they taught them. And they be like, it's always, I'm sorry. It's like,
that's kind of like that show, What Not to Wear. Remember that show?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Was that one to where they would like almost throw out everything they had, and then at the end of the episode,
yeah, it was so rude the way they would approach people. They'd be like, you, excuse me. Yeah, I mean, they would just like low-key attack them when they're just walking down the street, just ambush them like, excuse me, no, you need to come here. Like, you, Miss Tacky One, you come here. Yeah, I'm like, oh my God. I actually knew, I had a coworker who actually was on that show. Her sister set her up. Oh my God. She told me all about the whole experience. Like, she was straight ambush. She was mad as a hornet at first. And then they had to like tell her, oh, your sister is like, she's like, who are you? Know, she was like, get me, who are you? You know, it was like, it's that was so, and that one lady, did she have like a stripe in her hair? Am I thinking about how she was?
Gray stripe. Her name is Stacy. Yeah, with a gray stripe.
I liked her. There was something about her attitude I just didn't like. I don't know.
The fact you knew her name, Mo.
I watched a lot of What Not to Wear. I love T.O. I watched a lot. Stacey and Clinton.
I don't remember. I remember the show. I don't remember the show though. I don't remember watching it. And I know I must have watched it probably when I was in the States once or twice, but I don't remember anything else from that. I don't remember nothing. Anyway, I want to move on a little bit because I was thinking about something. I wrote this down actually because I had a friend of mine this week. We've been posting back and forth to each other. And this is something that he kept sending me certain things, and I was like, nope, everything. I was like, nope, no. And it had to do with food. Now, I know a lot of us have seen these mukbangs with like either women or men, like in the ASMR, eating all the food and all the sounds and all the okay. There was one he sent me. I don't know what this thing was or things. But they were on a long tray. They all look like fingers lined up on the tray. Like say this is the tray, and they had these little gooey things hanging from the end.
I already don't like it.
And
Yeah,
the chick had some, I don't know what this red stuff was. It could have been pepper, it could have been something. But on these little dangly things, she touched this spice to the finger of it, and it like jellyfished itself back up like this. And I was like, please don't show us eating that. Please don't show her eating that.
So you mean the thing on the tray was alive still?
See, I don't know, but that's my only assumption. Like a snail. It was almost like seeing a snail, but the little, it was like a dangle thing that was hanging. And it's almost like if, if you touch a snail with salt and it shrinks up, this is what each of these things just, and I was like, I didn't watch anymore because I was like, no, because if she eats one, I'm dead.
That's gross. You just reminded me of that show, that Andrew Zimmern show, that guy that used to.
Really, when he ate penis, that was actually real wild. But, and then he sends me another one. He did. He ate different types of penis. I was like, no, hell no, and now hell no.
My dad watching his show.
Huh?
It reminds me of Riley from the Boondocks. Eat a dick. It's like but some of this stuff. But have you seen people who eat like live octopus?
Oh no, I'm getting to that. Because then he sent me another little clip. I don't know what these things were. No, the first clip was these were frogs. Now, I've never eaten frogs. I've seen fried frog legs. They looked okay because they were fried, but these were not fried. And it was ASMR. So you can imagine what I was hearing in this little video. For the 4 seconds I listened, I shut that off. I said, yo, bro, no, not eating that. I don't know what that is. And then he's like, oh, but they say it tastes like chicken. Good for them. Not happening.
Why would I eat something else and be like, it tastes just like chicken? Okay, well, I'll just eat chicken.
Just eat chicken.
Now, and I've heard that about fried frog legs. They keep talking about, oh, it's like chicken. Now, I've had rabbit. No, and the thing is, I did not volunteer to have this rabbit. I was probably 11 or 12 years old, and my mama went to the store and bought it. I didn't know what she was buying. I saw it, but it didn't dawn on me what it was. And then she fried it like chicken. So it looked like chicken until I bit into it, but I was like, but this doesn't feel like chicken. It felt so gentle and tender in the bone. And then she told me that it was Bugs Bunny, and I was very upset. However, so when I was watching this thing that this guy sent me, and I was like, this is so gross. And then I thought to myself, okay, let me ask this question. When it comes to a lot of foods, like you'd eat fried calamari, you'd probably even eat steamed calamari, but they're dead and it's something. Would you ever eat something alive. And if you had the choice of whatever type of exotic food that you would never try or not try raw, if they fried it, would you eat it?
I'm not about just eating any old thing. I don't know. I mean,
okay, then what exotic food would you no, because you have to choose something. And it doesn't, I don't mean exotic like it has to be like, tentacles or something, whatever. Something that's out of the ordinary from your regular meal plan. that if you fried it, you would eat it. Nothing you're allergic to, but I mean,
a plantain. That's something.
You'd eat that raw.
Exotic.
You'd eat that steamed. That's too easy. Try again.
I've never had a plantain. I felt like that did the thing.
Whoa.
And I don't eat bananas, so therefore.
You've never had a plantain?
See, that's out of the ordinary for her.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Yes. You never had a plantain?
Thank you.
No, but no, that's what I'm asking. Girl, not green or yellow?
Or none of that, no.
Really?
No, I don't be eating. Y'all gonna talk, I am a chicken tenders and french fries type of girl. I don't be eating, no, I don't eat the stuff.
Can I take a stab?
So
okay, Miss Plantain.
You go ahead. I will remain plantain though.
Huh?
I said my answer will remain plantain though.
Okay.
Now, I think that now I have tried this particular food the way that it is normally served, and I cannot stand it. And that is the Dutch delicacy, which is herring. They eat it, they just take it and they tilt their head back and they just
oh no.
Yeah, but don't they have it pickled? They just have it fresh?
Dude, I don't know. It's just not cooked, okay? Like, no, gross. Ew, it's so gross. And I'm like, dude, okay, like I like sushi, okay, like, but then again, I don't eat all sushi. I'm just a salmon, tuna kind of girl, I'm like I'm like basic bitch when it comes to sushi. Okay, I'll have the little fancy rolls, but trust me, there's no weird shit going on the inside. Okay, it might look fancy on the outside, but it's limited to tuna, salmon, shrimp, crab, avocado, just normal, right? But the herring is just, I tried it when oh Lord, nope. Like y'all, you need to fry that. Okay, you need to cook that. I'm not. I will eat it if you fry it, but I'm never ever eat that again. I don't care how many onions you put on it. I don't care how fresh it is. I don't care. It's disgusting.
Oh, none of that.
I'm not a seal. I don't eat that fish like that. Okay, like the seals at SeaWorld love that stuff, man.
Right.
How about you, Whitney?
So, no, I would not eat any of these things. I'm also vegetarian, but I remember seeing somebody in this Facebook group I was in recently talk about kangaroo, and I was like, oh, okay. But no, I wouldn't eat any of this stuff. So I might have a plantain. I might stick with Rose's answer.
No, I was thinking the fact that you're a vegetarian. Any kind of non-meat item that you would never normally eat that you would eat if it was fried, like breadfruit or jackfruit or
I've
whatever.
never had breadfruit, but mushroom actually, because I don't like mushroom, but people keep trying to get me to try like the fried oyster mushrooms because they say it tastes like chicken, if you can believe that.
Yeah, I heard that too. I heard that too.
But yeah, I've never been a thing for mushrooms. So, I mean, I will try it if you fry it, but I'm not going to guarantee I'm going to like it.
That's fair. V?
I also don't eat meat, so I
Pick a
don't really know.
vegetable. You do eat every single vegetable, like breadfruit
No,
or jackfruit?
I like breadfruit and I like jackfruit.
Okay.
I don't like.
Cauliflower. I know she doesn't like cauliflower.
She immediately rejected.
I knew that V didn't like cauliflower.
I love cauliflower.
I be
like
trying to
cauliflower.
show her those recipes, and she's like, "No, it's cauliflower." Mm-mm.
But how about fried? Deep fried?
There was one time, there's a chain of restaurants over here called Wagamama.
Yeah.
Not great, but sometimes I end up having to go there. And they do this thing, I don't know if it's still on their menu, I think it's called Bang Bang cauliflower or something. And it's like deep fried, and it's got soy and ginger and those kind of flavors. And I tried that, but I liked it because it didn't taste like cauliflower.
They could season that bad boy up.
That's the point.
It didn't taste like cauliflower, but actual cauliflower tastes like.
It does have a lingering kind of flavor that follows behind it.
Can't do it, and it stinks. Oh my god! It's
when it gets if it's rotten, if it got the
like, why would you smell that and think, yeah?
No. Carl.
Isn't it a bit insulting too that it's like, no, you are not rice, and you will never be mashed potatoes,
right?
Like,
no,
I mean, I eat like a
rice.
low carb, so I do occasionally, I do the cauliflower, but I mean, I just really got like sick of that. It's like, look, quit lying to this is not rice. It never will be. It's just, it's okay, because it like, whatever it is that you're trying to serve over it that you would normally put over rice, the flavor messes it up because the cauliflower's got its own little pungent kind of. So I just got to the point, I was like, well, like for example, if I was going to have like some Chinese dish or some Thai dish over rice, it's like, okay, well, I'll just have the dish just by itself, because I got tired of messing up beautiful dishes that I was making that would traditionally be served over rice. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to be keto. I'm going to I'm like, you just ruined the dish because you put it over the cauliflower.
I'm like, because even I'm like, cauliflower is cauliflower. I mean, I like cauliflower, but cauliflower is cauliflower.
Yeah,
you're not rice. It's not mashed nothing. I'm gonna get some potatoes, mash them up.
Yeah, I'm having potatoes. I'm never substituting with cauliflower again.
Or sweet potatoes. Carl, what about you? Where are you, Carl? I see where you are. Carl. Wait a minute.
He said he had a phone call.
Oh, I had a phone call. Me, I do eat meat, and aside from all that crap that I saw that he sent me, which I would never. There was a food here. I think I talked about it probably a long time ago before, called 𝐒𝐩𝐞𝐜𝐢𝐚𝐥. It's pretty.
That's stuff in the can.
It's fish. It's in a can, and it ain't tuna.
No, I knew what you were
but
going to say.
It's swollen.
I'm sorry.
So
I've seen videos.
The can is swollen, which means the fish is over fermented to the point where the can starts to expand. Now, they eat that here mostly every midsummer. I have never eaten it. I've never eaten it.
Why?
And it's one of their things. And they eat it with, and they're like, Jermaine, you have to try it. You have to try it. If you take it with potato and the cracker and if I got to dress it up and cover it, then I don't want to eat it. And the fact that you have it's in that can. And I remember vividly, my mama saw a can in the cabinet that was swole. it was not going to be eaten. She'd take the can opener, piss out the air of it, and then throw it in the trash because she didn't want to explode it in the garbage if it was too hot in the trash. So I'm not eating a swollen can of fish, especially, and they don't even allow it on the planes. You can't carry it on the plane.
That's enough to bring a whole plane down, man. If you had one of those.
and from what I've heard, that if you go on YouTube, in fact, if you go on YouTube, and in fact, I'm gonna look it up right now because I'm gonna show you.
You just took the word. I was about to ask you, do you have that video clip?
It's not even just one. There are so many.
There's a lot of them. Yeah.
There are so many videos of people eating this stuff and puking their brains out or looking like they're preparing to puke their brains out. And I don't understand. I'm like, why are you eating this stuff? That is one thing. I don't care what you do with it. It will not pass my lips.
I mean, there has to be some historical background.
I don't care.
No, I'm just curious. Like, what happened in Sweden? Was there a famine? And like, this is the last thing on earth to eat. You got to eat some fish that's almost going to kill you. Like, there has to be some historical background, like why that food became something that anybody would even try to eat. Like, I'd rather eat a tree trunk than eat that. Like,
so I don't know what the story is, but I don't care. Because even if there was some kind of famine in 1829, you ain't in famine time now. Let that be the famine food that you have. When we ain't got no electricity no more, and then the wells are dry and the cows are gone, and all the rabbits have gone. But no, and this is I said, this is something to eat every single year, along with herring. But we have pickled herring, a lot of pickled herring in different flavors.
But I think since you brought that up, Jermaine, I almost would be willing to say I'd rather eat bugs than to eat that garbage. I'm just like, and I have no desire to do any of that, but that stuff looks so disgusting. And the reaction that I saw from people trying to eat that, like, to me, that's got to be the worst thing on the planet to try to eat. Like,
it is pretty nasty, probably. But I think the next worst thing, I mean, what I'd eat fried, I couldn't even eat bugs fried. That I couldn't even do. So I think I would.
What about sauteed in butter?
Bugs? No.
What if they were mixing with Rice Krispies in a chocolate bar or something like that?
Right.
Why am I getting these combos?
I would
see that would be different if someone gave you something that looked like something else. Like if they gave me like a nut cluster, you know how the nut clusters are with the chocolate and the nuts and the caramel, and there's a roach in there.
I want to say there is some country that does have chocolate covered bugs.
Thailand.
Yeah,
Thailand. No, Thailand does. I've been there. They have them. Thailand has them. China has them. I've seen them. They're like, oh, you want to try? No, thank you. I don't want to try the scorpion. I don't want to try the ants. I don't want to try the cockroaches. I don't want to try any of the bugs. Thank you very much. As protein filled as they are.
Hello,
no.
hang on a minute. Do you eat shellfish?
God.
Look, don't be hurt. Look,
you already eat bugs.
But the thing is that it's already gone from.
Touche, V, touche. That I'm sorry. Like, yeah, I eat shrimp, but I do recognize that you just did a mic drop because those are,
those are sea bugs. That's
scavengers. Yeah,
I know they're scavengers of the sea. I understand that totally. However, comma period. I ain't eating an actual roach.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do. And then if we're gonna go there, anybody here who eats anything in a box or in a cereal type, we all eating a piece of roach
or catfish.
No, I'm not even talking about
Oh,
fish.
I
I'm
eat
talking about
catfish.
I'm talking about
I don't eat
cereals.
catfish
I'm
either.
talking about oatmeal. I'm talking about grits. I'm talking about anything you got in a box that's powdered, flaked, or riced. You eating some
No,
bugs.
we have different food standards in
Oh, don't
Europe.
even, baby, I'm on the same side of the waters you are. Play. Don't even play.
Right. Like, yeah, you're just an hour ahead of her.
I don't mean her food is, okay?
Yeah.
We have a
Yeah.
different type of food over
Ew.
here in the UK. I mean,
I'm glad
the shit-
I already, I'm
what
glad I
is
already ate
fact
my
is
dinner.
that there are a lot of things in Europe that we will not accept from the US at all. That there's no, y'all got too much crap
yeah.
going on over there. We gonna keep. Yeah, there's a
Listen,
lot of foods and
The point is that I would never knowingly by choice eat bugs. But people who choose to eat shellfish, you're eating bugs.
I know.
I'm just saying.
my mom, I
Why you gotta
eat
ruin
shrimp.
it for us?
My mom told me that it is literally a roach in the ocean. I said, oh, well, there that goes. I won't be eating that anymore. And I haven't had a shrimp since. She ruins all kind of stuff for me. I'm already a picky eater, and she just told me stuff. I was like, well, I can't eat that anymore.
I've seen crawfish. Every time I see crawfish or whatever, I'm just like, I can't do it. It's like when you see all the legs, it's like, yeah, no. Like it could be delicious.
Especially,
They eat a lot of
Have
crawfish
the
here.
bit on the inside that you eat, even if you're eating them deshelled and all of that, it looks like a grub. It looks like I don't understand why somehow that's still more palatable. It looks like a wriggling grub.
Seeing like giant lobsters and crabs.
Somebody
had like some kind of lobster or whatever. It was a female lobster and it had eggs and it's pregnant. It just reminded me of like an armored tarantula. I was just like, hell no.
The caviar.
Yeah, I don't eat that. Don't eat that.
And the thing about it here, they do a lot of fish. It's a lot of that type of thing. The caviar, the black eggs, the red eggs, the caviar from the shrimp and from the fish. We have them in jars. The herring, tons of it. And the thing about it is that every holiday, like even Easter, this Easter, it's herring and other fishes. And midsummer, it's the herring and the this and the that and the surströmming. And Christmas, it's all of the herring, the this and the that and the that. And they have meat, the meatball, the lamb, the this, the that, the other, the reindeer, and then the potatoes and the scallop and but it's always the damn fish. I mean, and I think the first year or 2 or 10, maybe I was okay. But one thing I didn't like, it was my first experience with crawfish. I'd never had crawfish until I came here. And after the second time, aside from the fact that was too much damn work and all they were doing was drinking, because that's what it was for. I was like, I don't want to work that hard for no little piece of meat. No. It's like 20 minutes to pull apart a crawdad to get a piece of meat and then take a shot of vodka.
yeah, but
Is your stuff the head?
Huh?
It's not to ask that. Don't they in Louisiana? Don't they just let her rip? Don't they just go for it? They just.
I think it's you take the head and you suck the tail or something like that, or yeah. No, they do that
So
too here.
They don't clean out, like, how you devein a shrimp. You got to clean that out, and they don't do that.
No, they catch them.
They do.
No, that's where all the flavor resides.
They catch them in the water, like unless you buy them in the store, and then of course they're cleaned out, and they're already deshelled and all that other stuff. Even then, I'm like, I don't want them. I don't want them.
Yeah.
I do not want them. And I mean, and what's so weird is that I haven't eaten a lot of shrimp and shellfish in a really long time now that I really think about it. And probably for that matter, for the fact that, they're like, we have to have crab. They have crabs every year. Oh, it's crab season. We have to have crab. No, we don't. I had crabs.
That nasty, like, yellow stuff.
I've had crabs twice just for the experience because you have to have crab. Fine. I was like, no, I do not want to experience this taking apart the crab thing again with all this stuff inside it. Don't eat that. Pull that apart and go under there and get that yellow goop because that's good. Once you call it goop, I'm not bothering with this. No, so I really haven't had a lot of shellfish in several years, actually. And I'm not hurt by this. No, I'm sorry. I did have some shellfish when I went to Lithuania because they had this tray full of coconut fried shrimp and I was eating it. Because it was big and it was good. But other than that, I haven't had anything before that and I haven't had anything after. Yes, ma'am.
Before we leave tonight, I had somebody that I wanted to ask you guys about, but just whenever we get finished talking about.
I am done talking about the nastiness. And I want to actually get ready to close that anyway, because it is 10 o'clock. So I want to give it a few minutes. You can give in your last thing. Go ahead, Rhonda.
Well, I just wanted to ask, has anybody heard Samara Joy's music? Do you guys like Samara Joy? I'm so excited about her music and just that
the young the jazz.
Yeah. I love her so much. She's just like, I just want to know what you guys thought about her if you've been following her. I thought that was I loved watching her get her Grammy award, and like she's just so adorable, and I love that style of music, and I'm so happy to see it kind of getting a revival, because now I'm seeing other artists who are kind of, in this jazz genre, because I really love jazz, but I like older, heard that style of jazz, Ella Fitzgerald and Etta James and like those classics and stuff. And I lived in Atlanta before I lived here in the Netherlands, and Atlanta had such an awesome jazz music scene. And I'm like, how is it that the city of Atlanta all of a sudden doesn't have even one freaking jazz station? It's Atlanta, for crying out loud. That's just crazy. And so I got kind of upset about how the direction of like, they just wiped jazz out, even though we got a big jazz festival, every year. There's a scene there, but it's like they just try to like wipe it out. So I don't know. I'm excited to see this resurgence of this like classic jazz kind of movement. Her label is Verve, which is, that's one of the older like jazz labels and stuff. I just wanted to throw that out there to see if anybody had been following her. What's your opinion of her music and just that genre in general? But
I don't follow her and I don't know too much about her, but I have heard a couple of things. I've come across a couple of things on, I think it was Instagram. I think she's great.
Yeah.
What's her name again?
Samara Joy, SAMARA, last name Joy. Okay. And she's from the Bronx, New York.
I've heard a couple. I've heard a couple of her things. I can't remember where I heard them. Probably on Instagram.
I think I've shared some clips with you, Jermaine.
Probably.
I've shared her Instagram stuff with a few people. Somebody else turned me on to her, I think.
No, I remember seeing that she won a Grammy. Because I actually didn't know how big or how mainstream or how in the mainstream she was, even after hearing her. I was just like, oh, I was just surprised, and that someone so young had such a had the type of voice that would go into that type of music as well. So
yeah, her voice is like really mature for her age.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. I think it's unusual for her age group to be into that genre, which I think is what makes me just love her even more. I have mad respect for that. And I hope that because of her age, that she brings that style to younger people, that they get exposed to that more. And that, I don't know, I love jazz. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Hopefully, hopefully a lot more music will be exposed to everybody, because I think I think music has been kind of locked in a little vacuum for a few years. So it's not, a lot of music hasn't gotten the type of exposure that it should get. You know, I think it's been, especially, I don't know if it's because of the pandemic or because of our ears, but hearing different stuff is refreshing, and hearing it from younger people is even more refreshing. But just the exposure of more music, I'm here for it. Something that I can listen to, I'm here for it.
In a way, it's kind of like what we were talking about with movies and TV shows, with like there's so much content out there that it's hard to, you can't keep track of all of it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I know I'm like this, when there's too many choices, I don't pick anything.
Yeah, I'm like that.
I think music has kind of gotten like that. I think there is a lot of, like for me, I mostly listen to like only a few kinds of music. And my thing was, well, I only listen to this decade of this particular music because I don't like anything currently. But then I was also, as I say in church, I was kind of convicted, because it wasn't that there wasn't any good, like, I like R&B. It's not that there's not any good R&B music. I'm just not doing the work I need to go out and find the kind that I would like.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think there is a lot of music out there. But unfortunately, the kind that gets the same play
right
has to do with what, as far as what music, if you listen to radio, the stations, whatever, because they only play certain things. And so, like, if you want to listen to some jazz, you have to find
some obscure college channel or something.
Right. Or like some Sirius XM, it has some satellite, provider that's gonna be dedicated to, playing jazz. They don't have to worry about, well, how many people are listening. It's like, no, we are strictly dedicated to this, or a Spotify list or something like that, because with the way I don't know what that was. With the way music is, we're the way it's distributed now, in the way it is cool that people can get their music out there by just putting it out there themselves. But then at the same time, without that backing, it is harder for them to get noticed. But I'm happy that this young lady is able to get noticed with more things. Probably the best way, unfortunately, probably the best way for her to get noticed is if she's doing some jazz, is if there's a rapper or pop or whatever artist that enjoys her music and wants to do a collaboration.
Well, she got a Grammy. They want to do it. They'd have,
Yeah, she got 2 Grammys, actually.
Oh, she got 2?
2, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought she only had 1. Good for her.
But,
we like her.
Huh?
Check her out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, or if somebody with like a large platform, it was probably good for her. They found her and was like, hey, check this girl out. You know what I mean? To make her.
Yeah. She's touring now. I think I know she's coming to Europe, or she's already been, or something. She's exploded. But, you made a really good point, Carl. It's like the movie industry conversation we were having. There's one company that owns all the freaking radio stations. Was it Clear Network or something like that? I'm like, what a damn shame. And it's just like, yeah. And it's like, so there's a monopoly, really. People don't think they're aware of it, but there really is. They make you want the things that you think you want to listen to, because they just push it. But like, if you're a true music head, yes, you're right. You got to kind of go out of your way to find outlets to discover new music. Like, one thing I used to do, I used to love to go to Tower Records. I know this is so old school, but I used to go to Tower Records. They had these listening bars, and you could, and I would just pull up to a listening bar, and I would just randomly put a headphone on. And I mean, it would be music from all over the world. And I have discovered so much far out international music, like some great, like, deep house music, and some like music from just far away countries, like stuff you'll never hear it on the radio, ever. Forget about it, you know? And then you find this little like following, this like off the beaten path. There's like a whole community that follows, you know, this genre of music or whatever. And then, but college radio stations are really great places because Georgia Tech used to have, or was it Georgia State? No, it was Georgia State, WRAS. They took that offline though. That was the best college radio station to find all kinds of cool underground music. And Georgia Tech had one too. They wiped all that stuff off the radio stations. Clark Atlanta University has the only jazz station, if it's still around, in Atlanta, because they took down the major jazz station. And then you could only hear jazz like certain hours of the day on Clark Atlanta University's, which is a historically Black college in Atlanta. These specific hours, these days of the week. And if you were within a 20-mile radius of the station, because you just didn't go that far. And it was just such a shame because they were playing some really awesome, great stuff, you know. And then there's like some obscure radio stations, like there's one in Wyoming that I discovered. Can't even remember how I discovered it, but I stream them on my phone here in the Netherlands. I'm listening to some obscure ass public radio station out of Wyoming. If I want to hear some cool old head jazz, some Miles Davis and some like all this other stuff. And I'm thinking, yeah, you're old. You're just old. Nobody's listening to that, but I'm the old head. I'm like scavenging around for my little jazz and I like pour through Spotify. That's the other thing too. You got to subscribe. You got to pay if you want to, you know, discover new. You're right. You got to make an effort. It's not as easy as it used to be.
No, it's not. And I mean, unless you have the stuff already in your own possession and, you know, you still got that 8-track tape that you recorded everything on from your boom box when the song came on the radio and you press the buttons on record and recorded the song.
Way back. I mean, you just skipped right over cassettes and went all the way back.
I'm sorry. I meant cassettes. I know I said 8-track, didn't I? I meant cassettes. Because I didn't have an 8-track. My daddy had an 8-track though, because I remember I saw one, but I didn't see what he had it in because I had the boombox, right? Boombox, cassette player. Did you used to stand by the radio station on Saturday night with your fingers on the record? Because I had a box, and you waited until because you knew that song was gonna come rolling around. Yeah. Be like, there it is, record.
I would get upset when the DJ would start talking over the intro of the song. I'd be like, shut up.
Yes.
I hate that now. It's like you're already doing a mix. I'm not hearing the whole song, and then they're playing DJ on the 1 or 2. Like, shut the hell up and let me listen to the song.
I'm trying to record this. We were the original pirators, right?
Truly, that's how the original pirating was going on, and they just made it a little bit easier for us when they had LimeWire and all that other stuff. But
I'll with VCRs with like recording. You would do that with like recording Fresh Prince, and it's like when they came up with the button to be like, "Oh, you mean I can skip past commercials, like the show will go off, I hit stop and you have to wait because it wouldn't just stop because it's manual. So it'll stop and then keep going for a little bit. And then you have to rewind a little bit and you have to wait. And you know, normally they'll let you know when the show is coming back. And so you have to hit it then so they can start. So by the time it actually starts rolling, then it's actually where the show is.
Oh my gosh.
If you wait too late, then you're gonna miss a little bit of that show. But yeah.
We were the Machiavellis of that stuff, man. I still got VHS tapes with Absolutely Fabulous on it. I still have VH1 when they had all their videos, and I put videos? I still have. I remember one video I just watched it like a day or two ago because I put that VHS tape into my VCR that I still have connected to my TV set along with my DVD thing, the DVD player, and my computer. I listened to Take 6 singing Biggest Part of Me, and I'm like, oh my God. So I'm watching
Man,
You have a TV that connects to a VCR. Like, it's one thing to have a VCR, but to have the TV that actually connects to the VCR. So
or how about the TV that has the built-in VCR with it? And if you were high cotton, you had the VCR and the DVD player combo built into your TV, and you hope that one of those didn't break, because then you have to get rid of the whole damn TV because it was all in one. Remember that?
No, I had the VCR built into the TV thing. I got rid of that years ago, but I still have videotapes that I can't play because I don't have anything to play them on.
I have videotapes too. At my mom's house, I just look at it and be like, I wonder, like, what would I have to do to convert those to DVD? But no, I'm mad that Jermaine went through the trouble of putting in a tape to watch something on her VCR when she's using a device right now to where she can look up those same videos in much better quality.
On YouTube, where you're streaming right now.
Yes, I forget. And then I have to,
oh yeah, this is a good one. Hold on. Got your popcorn. Yeah, this. Hold on, gotta press the, hold on. Which button is it to, hold on, which is the input to get to the VCR? What is this the, Harold, which one is the, which one is for the,
and then don't forget your handy ink-pen if you got to rewind some cassette tape for some reason, okay?
Oh no, I'm more advanced. I have pliers that widen out so I could just do the whole wide much faster than that pen crap. You know. And remember, you got to press the button in the back so it rewinds faster. That little button in the back. Yeah, you got to press that in so it goes, you know. Anyway, I've enjoyed this evening with y'all, making fun of my VHS stuff and see, now I'm gonna get on here and watch Take6 singing "Biggest Part of Me." Anyway,
hey man, but that was a
video, and I'm gonna post it in the Discord. Be like, look.
You know, Take6 is on tour again, right? Did you know that?
No.
Yes, they're touring again. Yes, they are. You know the guy on Instagram that always dances when he picks his kids up from school? That he wears a funny wigs. I think
I've seen him. I've seen him.
He announced it last week that they're touring again, and his wife flipped out when he told her about it. And I was like, oh, that's gonna be pretty,
find it.
Pretty good.
I'm so glad that I had this evening with you guys, and also with everybody out there. And I hope you out there will be doing some rewatching, as I have found that people do. So I'm very happy about that. But I am so glad to have this time with you, Mo and Carl and V and Whitney and Ashley Hula and Rhonda. I always enjoy having time with y'all, especially seeing y'all, since we don't get to see each other very often. But we always get to talk, and that's the best part about these evenings. So I will bid y'all adieu. See you guys later on. Thank you all for watching Zubin and Comfort, and we will see you next month, probably sometime. But it'll be fun and it'll be great. So take care.